Going live in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Hello, everybody, or whoever just got on right now. Hey, so my name is Danny. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. And a little disclaimer: I don't know everything. Alls I know is that I was addicted to heroin for, it's like I like to say this thing. I did heroin one time. Oh wait, shoot, we gotta stop talking about those things because it'll shut us off. So alls I know is this, you guys, is I was addicted very badly to lots of substances, and I used to eat them and take them for years because that was the only thing that really made me feel right after a long time. I was uncomfortable in my own skin. I was like, I had this plant inside of me, this thorny, prickly, weird bush thing in me. It was in my arms and in my legs and in my feet and in my face. And I was not cool, man. Like, I just was not cool. That's how we could say that was. And I didn't feel like I was enough. I needed to be more. I needed more stuff. I needed to be taller. I needed to be bigger. I wasn't right, you know? And then I started partying and I didn't care. When I would drink, when I would do all these other things, I would feel better. And I'm going to be honest with you, the shit worked. The shit worked real well. I felt more confident. I felt more brave. I felt more attractive. I felt taller. Like it worked. But the deal is it was super erratic. It would work sometimes, but not all the time. It would work here and there, and I had some badass, wonderful times where I felt free as ever. And I was laughing and joking and having a great time, but then I became dependent upon that, and I depended upon that for my happiness, to go to work, to do anything. And then that's when it starts getting super erratic. And then I was tweaked out, strung out, making horrible decisions, being angry, upset, confused, afraid, manipulative, and all these things, trying to get my way in the world. And then I kept turning into a giant pile of crap. Yeah, a pile of crap. A person that added no value to anybody's life. No value. And if I was zero value to people's lives, that might have been okay. But I was not zero value. I was negative 5,000 value because I hurt people mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. I just hurt people. People that loved me a lot. People that I believed I loved a lot. But I couldn't stop screwing myself, and I kept running back to the only thing that made me have a good time, and that was that shit. All kinds of shit. And then then I would smash my face again and again, get in the backseat of a cop car. I've spent, almost 15 years in prison, locked in a cage. I've, done 10 freaking rehabs, a ton of detoxes over and over and over again. And I kept screwing myself until finally, some people once again reached out their hand and they just said, bro, just do what we're doing. Are you willing, finally, to do whatever it takes to find victory over this thing? Yeah. And that didn't feel good. That felt humiliating. It felt humiliating to finally admit that no, I am incapable of managing my own life. That's not like, oh, you know what? I can't manage my life anymore. So, hey, why don't you guys show me how to live? You know, like, God, that was tough, man. So what I'm going to do on this deal right now is I'm going to break down these 12 steps. And I know that so many people talk so much crap on the 12 steps. They're out there going, I tried it, I did it, it didn't work. I went into a bunch of meetings and it didn't work. And I help a lot of, parents, and I help a lot of kids, and I help a lot of people out there. And the husband or the wife or the mom or the dad will tell me, yeah, they went to a lot of those meetings, but it was just it wasn't for them. There's got to be a different way. Well, I'm like, yeah, it's like they went to the gym and they just sat on their ass not doing nothing. They went 10 or 20 times and just sat on their ass, or maybe shared once in a while and felt really uncomfortable and left. You go to the gym and you don't do any work, you're not going to get any results, and you will hate it. So that's what this is like. So I'm going to break down what the steps do, what it does, so it like makes sense. I'm not going to get all like deep and esoteric and weird or nothing. Just what it does. So the first thing that we got to do is we got to identify what the problem is. Okay. So what the problem is the way you feel. That's what the problem is. The way we feel. We feel sad, lonely, angry, tired, bored, frustrated. We just don't feel wonderful. And that's the problem. So where do we feel? Where do we feel? Do we feel inside of our brain and we're like, today is a beautiful day and I think it feels great? No, we don't feel inside of our brain. We feel inside of our body, our feelings. Because truthfully, it's not what you think about the world, it's how you feel about yourself and the world around you. What you feel. We drink and get loaded and do drugs because of the way we're feeling or the way we want to feel. And that trumps everybody. It trumps my job. It trumps my daughter. It trumps my mom. It trumps my spouse. It trumps my career. It trumps everything. The way I feel is way more important than you, than everything. That's the problem. So now let's start this out. So we're going to say that we're going to call it our heart center is how we feel. So we have a big red heart. We have a big red heart. That's our feeling center right here. Okay, that's where we feel. This is where the problem is. When you were young, our natural state is when we were like children. Our natural state is when we were like children and we're running around and we're being free and we're riding bikes and we're chasing, we were petting and chasing our dogs and cats around the living room, and we're climbing trees and we're collecting bugs, or girls are playing with whatever. We're playing. That's our natural state. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to absorb and laugh and have a good time. That's our natural state. You ever see kids working on a project? They're not like laughing working on the project, but they're like determined. Like, I am determined to turn this Play-Doh into a dinosaur. And they got their tongue out and they're working hard on it. Like, that's our natural state, to be focused, to be in the moment. Yes. Okay, so what happens? So now what happens is, to your heart, to the addict alcoholic's heart, really the human heart, is we wind up going through. So we were once bright, shiny, and amazing, and we were laughing, and we were just, we were kids, man. And so what happens is we go through this timeline of life, and we experience all these circumstances and situations, and we trip on them. And these are called our traumas, where we picked up our fears, or where we've been hurt. All these circumstances and situations, neglected, hurt, abused, shamed, felt guilty, all these things. And then we start doing the same shit to other people. And the only relief that we get is doing some freaking drugs. And every time we get hurt, there is this little arrow that goes into our heart. Every one of these situations gets a little arrow into our heart, a little barb, and we don't work it out. We are victimized, And every time there's another little situation, my dad, my uncle, my brother, my friend, my mom, my spouse, every time one of these screwed up situations happen, we get a little arrow inside of our heart. We get these little arrows, and another one, and another one, and another one, and these little dark energies inside of our hearts. So we, after a time, we have so many of them that bright, childlike joy goes out. It goes out. Let me grab this eraser. That bright, childlike joy goes out. Nah, lost you for a minute there. We're back. I think that thing would have followed me around. Great. So when the light is out, when the light of the child, you ever hear that thing like, you got to heal your inner child. You got to find your inner child. You got to find the joy that, that was you as a child. That's the point. That's the point. Because now, as an adult, we've gone through this timeline of life, and we've got so many stickers inside of our heart that the light's out. The light is out. That's why we're bored. That's why we want to use. That's why we want to drink. That's why we're mad at people. That's why we're blaming others. That's why we just don't feel right. That's why we need substances and all this stuff, is because we don't feel right. You just don't feel right. Because you got all that crap in your, all those little arrows in your heart. Your heart center. So feel it. Feel it. Something ain't right. And it ain't the money that you have. It ain't the relationship that you have. It ain't the car. It ain't the job. It's none of that stuff. It's you. It's me. Something ain't right in there. It's not humming to perfection. That's because there's pain. Because you've been hurt and it's still in the wounded heart. And it's hard to see people when you're suffering. It's hard to see others. It's hard to care about others. It's hard to care about yourself. But what we can do to actually feel better with this thing is we could do a big fat one of these things, and all of a sudden this weird magical energy goes in here and it feels better. We could smoke some magical stuff, and now it's a pain reliever, so now it feels better, and the heart shines a little bit, and we're funny and entertaining and all that stuff, but then it goes away, and you're back to your wounded heart. You're back to that wounded heart. And then the substance, because the body has a way of rejecting or needing more of that substance or not balancing that out, and then it starts not working anymore. And then we got to mix it up with all these other things to make it feel right, and then it still don't feel right, and that stuff peters out. And it's like an erratic light bulb. If the light bulb was 90 watts one day, it looks great. And then 10 watts the next day, and 8 watts the next day, and 40 the next day, or in a matter of minutes. It's irritating. And that's what those substances do to alleviate the pain of boredom, the pain of loneliness, the fear of not being enough, the fear of not having enough. So now let's break down these steps. I'm going to explain them really, really quick and what it does, how it makes you feel better. All it's going to do is make you more confident. So confident when someone hands you a beer, you're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm straight the way I am. When someone goes, hey, you want a hit? You're like, I'm straight. Hey, handle your business. I'm straight. When someone gives you one of these, and you're like, I'm good. I don't screw around, because I feel better and more solid and more confident than that shit is going to make me. That's all it's going to do. That's all it's going to do. And it's worked for millions of people. So now let's break it down how it does it. Okay? So step one, We admitted we were powerless over our problem and our lives have become unmanageable. All that's doing is admitting that you can't find happiness in this state. That's all it's saying. Can you, if you can find true happiness and enthusiasm and joy, make it happen right now. Right now. Make it happen. Fill yourself up with gratitude and joy and happiness and feel the peace and serenity of all. Have yourself feel better than the way that drugs and alcohol make you feel. You can't do it right now? Well, that is why we're saying we're powerless. We're powerless. I want happiness, but I can't get it. I'm powerless. That's step one. Step two, and that's just admitting that. It's easy. And your life's unmanageable. If your life was manageable, you'd be living on your successes. It's unmanageable. It keeps going wonky. Step two, came to believe in a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. All that's saying is I agree that whatever power's in here, I am not producing joy, abundance, and happiness. So I agree that I need another power, another juice. I need something to go here to get rid of this shit. All that's saying is I agree. I need something else because I can't do it right now. Step three. Now, this is always a hard one, but it's not really that hard. Made a decision to turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand Him. All that's saying is I'm willing to turn my will and my life over to take suggestions, to take ideas. Then I'm going to stop using this brain that keeps making me fail. So now I'm going to turn my will and my life over to a program, to recovery, to education, to a higher power. I'm going to pray. I'm going to meditate. You don't believe in God? Meditate. You'll come to believe. You're going to get in touch with another power. That's all step three is. Now, two things people have been doing for thousands of years to improve their spiritual condition. Prayer meditation. People have been doing it for thousands of years. There's people that don't believe in God, absolutely don't believe in God, but they freaking meditate and they plug into something, a higher power, energy, source, love, compassion, awareness, whatever you want to call it. They're able to plug into something that is and surrender to that so they can commune and improve their spiritual condition. All that's saying is that's the third step. You're willing to turn your will that keeps screwing you and your life that is screwed over to something else. Easy. Step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of our lives. Now remember the heart over here? Remember the heart over here? All step 4 is now you are going to list all those situations and circumstances that created those arrows. You are going to list, you're going to write down every single person that ever hurt you and screwed you over. And then you're going to go through the people that you hurt and screwed over. And then you're going to find out that that is what put these arrows in here. You interpreted a situation and you put an arrow in here. And you put an arrow in here. So now you're going to understand that it is your heart that makes you see the world as it does. And you're going to understand that there's something wrong in here. And you're going to go through your life and recognize where you picked up these little arrows. That's what that is. The fourth step is you're going to do an inventory of all of your life, and you're going to find out these circumstances and situations where you interpreted them and you filled yourself up with traumas and pain and fear and guilt and shame, and now that's what those little arrows are. That's the fourth step. Okay? Step 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. All you're going to do is you're going to sit down with your sponsor and you're going to go through this thing. And the reason we go through this fourth step, and you're going to go through it all, and you are going to get the names of your demons, the names of these arrows. This one's pride. This one's anger. This situation created fear. This situation created laziness. This situation, I practiced procrastination. This little situation was more pride. This little situation, jealousy. This little situation, envy, anger, gluttony, lust, sloth, envy, greed, pride. And now you're going to get the names of the little arrows that are within you. That's all what the fifth step's for. Seeing your part, your infection, your disease, your screwed up brain workings. That's all you're going to do. Now you're going to get their names. Okay? So now we go after the fifth step, we go to step 6 and 7. Step 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Step 7. Humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. Now we're going to pause. Now we got the names of our demons. We're going to pause. We're going to pray. We're going to meditate. We're going to ask the universe. We're going to be aware of these defects of character. We're going to be aware of these demons that are inside of us. And then we are going to release them. But we are so spiritually weak and so infected by the materialism of everything. We need stuff and we need things and we need money, that it doesn't make any sense that we're going to feel the negative energies inside of us. And then we're going to release them either through a 7th step prayer or a mantra meditation, but we are going to release them instead of fighting them. But in the beginning journey, everyone is so spiritually weak because we're weak because we freaking screwed up everything in our lives. And if we were strong, we wouldn't have. So we're so spiritually weak at doing this spiritual shit that most people tap out. Most people don't start reflecting on their character defects and shortcomings every day to release these things. And when you're weak and you're trying something new, you know how much of that character defect and that shortcoming you're able to release? The first time, the first week, the second week, a little tiny bit of one arrow. Maybe the next day a little bit more, and you have hundreds of arrows. A little bit more, a little bit more. But when you reflect on these character defects and these shortcomings, this dark energy that's inside and infected your heart, and you reflect, not trip, reflect and recognize with awareness, not trip, not be negative because that just makes the arrows bigger. But when you reflect upon these character defects and shortcomings and you learn to release those every day, and when they manifest again, you learn to release those every day, you get stronger. There's things like push-ups. Prayer and meditation every day upon the dark energy that is within you and releasing that, you get stronger. Push-ups. If you've never done a push-up in your entire life and you do one push-up, all you can do is one push-up the first day, well, not much gets accomplished that first day. But every single day after 30 days, guess what? After 30 days, you should be able to do 15 or 20. Because now you're able to do 20 push-ups in a minute, where before you couldn't do one. You will get stronger in awareness, consciousness, spirituality, closer to our Maker, the more that you practice this stuff every day. That's what step 6 and 7 is. So where before you tried, you got rid of a little one, you keep practicing every day, now you get rid of 2 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day, and it starts removing these character defects. They start pulling out of your freaking heart when you start practicing this spiritual awareness, the inside job stuff. And guess what? Your heart starts getting a little bit of light back. And you start feeling better. Step 8, made a list of all people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Now you are going to rectify, clear up the wreckage of your past. Step 8, you're going to make a list of all people that didn't have it coming. The people that you hurt, employers, family members. You're going to make a list of all these people that you freaking screwed over. Because now what you're going to do, why this is so important, is because you have a moral compass. The moral compass inside of you says, raise your hand if you like people to burn you. You don't like that, do you? Raise your hand if you like to go into your bank account and see withdrawals that wasn't you and you didn't give permission. You don't like that. Raise your hand if you like it when people are just full of crap and just bold-faced lie to you. No, you don't like that? Raise your hand if you people love it when people flake on you. You don't like that? You don't like waiting around? Raise your hand if you like it when people give you their word and they break it. You don't like that? So that's your moral compass. So now, what you're going to do is instead of burning everybody and flaking on everybody and yelling at everybody, now you're going to align with your moral compass, what you really want, because you want to be treated with dignity and respect. So now you are going to go clean up the wreckage of your past. You are going to defy the demons inside of you that compelled you to burn everybody. Now you're going to align with your true loving nature, and you're going to write down these amends letters, all the people you screwed over, and then step 9, where made direct amends to people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Now you're going to go to them and you're going to tell them, I screwed you over. I screwed you over. I was wrong for that. I was wrong. I was wrong. You never deserved to be treated like shit by me. You never deserved to be abandoned by me. You never deserved to be burnt by me. You never deserved to have a brother, a wife, or whoever treat you the way that I treated you. Why is this powerful? Why is those amends powerful? How about all the people that screwed you over? Wouldn't it be cool if they came to you and they told you from the bottom of their heart that they were fucking wrong? That they did you dirty, and then will do anything to make it right? That's what you want. So now you're going to align with your moral compass. You're going to be the person, you're going to be the change that you want to see in the world. And what does that do? You're going to make these amends. So you know what that does? All these negative arrows that are inside of you, the fear, the anger, the hate, the resentment, the pain, the suffering, it's going to tell you, no, don't make those amends. No, no. And now you're going to live righteously, and it's just going to start destroying that negative energy inside of you. Okay? It is. It is. It is. And that's how this thing works. Step 10. Continue to take inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Step 10. So all that's going to do is recognize when you go through your day, each day, you're going to recognize where people piss you off and you put more arrows in your heart. Where circumstances and situations don't go your way and you're all shitty, because that's the secret. Recognizing when you're shitty, because that's just arrows in your heart. Recognizing when you are shitty. You know, I mean, we give them all different kinds of names, but it's just shitty. And then you're going to recognize in the day, in the morning, in the evening, relationships and personal situations and circumstances where you've infected yourself with another arrow. Now you're going to reflect and like going, ooh, this morning, that was not cool. Nope, I fucking barked at freaking so-and-so. They didn't have it coming. That ain't right. And then continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Now you're going to call that person and say, hey, look, you didn't have that coming from me. I was just going through some shit. Or, hey, I was not right. And you're going to continue to make amends. You steal something, you're like, oh, that was way wrong. You're going to go fucking, because you don't want no more arrows in your heart, because now you've recognized that you could be free. That's all step 10 is. Checking yourself every day. Putting yourself in check. Staying in the right lane, staying in the light, as opposed to drifting in the darkness. Because if you don't do this check every day, you will build up arrows. And enough arrows, you're going to find a fast solution. And that's drinking and using. Step 10. Step 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. So this is going to be more prayer and meditation. More prayer and meditation each day. More awareness, more consciousness, more love. And what is God's will? What is humanity? What is the will to grow and thrive? And that's helping people. Helping people. Because You know what Business 101 says? Business 101 says that if your product, whatever you're selling or giving, doesn't add value to other people's lives, that business is a business of shit. So when a business of you, when you add value to people's lives by helping them, you become more valuable. When a business adds value to its customers, then that business grows and thrives. Step 11, start through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God, God's will. The golden rule, do unto others you should have them do unto you. Don't burn people because you don't like to get burned. Praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. I want a righteous, awesome life. So I've got to treat this life as righteous and awesome. Prayer and meditation, pausing the ego, plugging into source, plugging into God. God is love, man. That's all I'm going to tell you is God is love. Because I only have the proof. I only have the proof. The proof is I didn't love myself before. If I loved myself, I wouldn't be sticking my arms with crap. If I loved myself, I wouldn't be smoking crap, abandoning my children. If I loved myself, I would put myself on a place to grow and thrive. If I loved myself, I would make good decisions to be able to embrace this world and be able to have meaning and purpose. If I loved myself, I wouldn't harm myself or the people that I love and love me. So all I know is I went through these steps through prayers and meditations, and that connected me closer to something that manifested within me love. So I love myself today. I love my life today. I love the world that I live in today. It's not perfection, and it will never be perfection. There are things that, I get frustrated, I get angry, I get irritated, I get pissed off, I do stupid shit, I gotta make amends. I'm not perfection. I'm a human being. But I do my best to help others, pay attention to others. I do my best so that I continue to stay connected with this thing that allows me to grow and thrive. And this thing is called love. God is love. That's all I'm going to talk about on the 11th step. Also, the last thing on the 11th step, two things those people have been doing for thousands of years is prayer and meditation to improve their spiritual condition. People that pray all the time know that it is a badass thing to get in touch with the Lord and Savior. They know it is badass, and they love their Lord, and they are so grateful. People that meditate all the time and sit and plug into the spirit of the universe, the interconnectedness of all, the creator and abundance. They know it's badass and that it works and it helps a lot. People that don't do it at all question it or talk shit on it. Good luck with that. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry the message to other people that are suffering and practice these principles in all our affairs. The spiritual awakening is this. You know what the spiritual awakening is? It's, I'm good. Like, I'm good. No, I don't want to drink. No. Like, I'm good. Not like, how you doing? I'm good. Like, I'm good. How you doing? I'm fine. That's not good. But good is the love of life. Good is, all right, I got problems and fears and things to deal with, but I'm good and I accept it, and I'm not going to complain about it all day. That's the spiritual awakening, the psychic change. You're sober. You're straight. You don't need substances to make you feel different. You're not dependent upon some substance to freaking make you feel better. Like that is the spiritual awakening, the psychic change, where you can see how you want to make a difference in this world and actively do it. Not wish it and want it, but actively do it. where things aren't as frustrating as they were. Problems you had before are so tiny that you look at them like completely different. You're like, what was I tripping on? Why was I tripping on everything and everybody? Like, why was I tripping on myself all the time? That's the spiritual awakening. All it is, it's clearing out your heart. It's an inside job. These steps is an inside job. And there's lots of people I know. I'm going to get some comments like, I did the 12 steps and it never worked. Well, did you practice some meditation and prayer every single day, focusing on your character defects and actually releasing them every day? Every day? Did you do it every freaking day? Did you help someone every single day? Did you practice the 12 step and actually help somebody recover every single day? Did you recognize it? Did you make all your amends to all the people that hurt you and that you hurt? Did you do that? You know, did you? I mean, people say I've done the 12 steps. Well, tell me right on the fly. Tell me what step 6 is and how did you do it and where it's at in the book. Right on the fly. Tell me what it is. See, a lot of people say that they've done this thing, but they might have done it like homework. Some people do it like homework. Like, oh, I have an essay to do on King George III. Okay, so now I'm going to get this book out. And I'm going to do this long-ass essay on King George III. I'm going to write this beautiful essay out, 5 pages, and then I'm going to turn it in, and then I get an A on it. And then 6 months later, tell me about King George III. And you completely forgot who he was married to, how many kids he had, what countries that he helped. You know what I mean? You forget about everything. That's not doing it. Doing it is where you comprehend it, you absorb it, and you practice it. So that's what I'm talking about on these 12, because I get a lot of comments on people that said the 12 steps never worked for me. I get a lot of comments on people talking crap on the 12 steps, you know, and that's fine. I mean, that is fine. I'm not taking it personal. It doesn't bring me down and screw up my whole day. It actually makes me a little bit sad that people are in such negative states that they have to talk crap. You know, like when they talk crap on the thing, I'm like, well, it appears to me that what you're doing is working so great that you're so happy with yourself in life that you got to get on my channel and talk a bunch of crap. God bless you. I don't know. You know, I ain't jumping on people's pages and then talk crap. You know, like that's just hate. And what you give, you're gonna receive. And I don't want to receive a bunch of hate, so I ain't gonna give it. I'm just gonna.
A question from Logan.
Hey, we got a question from Logan.
When is it okay to leave an addict?
Ooh, okay. This is called toxicity. When someone's behavior is toxic to where it is affecting you, where it is really causing major problems in your life, like financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, where it is just super unhealthy. And do you mean, I'm not sure if the question is when it's okay to leave an addict, like somebody that you're helping, or a significant other that's an addict?
I think significant other.
Okay, significant other. If you're with an addict or an alcoholic and they're deep in their stuff, it ain't gonna end good. It's just not. To enable them is to allow that behavior around you. You know, and that's like enabling, you know, and I mean, if you could be such a saint that they can use and drink and screw themselves and it's going to end badly and you know what's coming, but you could still continue to live in that situation and grow and thrive and find happiness and meaning in your life, okay, that's what we call a super Al-Anon. Great. But if it is really damaging you to watch a person that's screwing themselves that you love, but it is screwing you up, and they refuse to get help, they don't want help, they're going to continue to use and drink and all that stuff, screw you, my feelings trump everything, my feelings trump, that's when it's time to leave, man. Because ultimately it's your journey to find your happiness and to be able to grow and thrive. And if you're with somebody that you do not feel like you're able to grow and thrive, then what's the point of that? So make a decision. Have any other question?
From From Laura, what are your thoughts on Subutex and Sublocade?
Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm a big fan. Big fan of Subutex, Sublocade, big fan. As far as having some freaking badass medication to get through the kick. Having some badass medication to get you through physical withdrawals. Right on. But as far as staying on a substance for the rest of your life, every month and every week, I'm not a big fan. And I'll explain why I'm not a big fan. So I'm shooting this stuff in my veins every day. I am hooked. I am freaking hooked on this stuff. And then it gets to the point that I am just staying well. I'm not even getting high anymore. I'm just staying well. I gotta keep doing this. I gotta keep finding all the little veins in my whole body just to stay freaking well and maybe get a little rush here and there, but just to freaking feel halfway normal. But if I stop that shit, I'm gonna kick. I'm gonna physically withdraw, sweat, I'm gonna freaking, it's gonna be gnarly. Oh, you have some substance to give me that I have to take over and over again every single day so that I can feel normal? But if you stop giving it to me, I'm gonna punch you in your face? That's why I'm not a big fan. Because when that, just like drugs and alcohol, works on the heart center to make me feel right, but when that shit goes away, I'm back to this heart that is full of freaking barbs and arrows in it. That's where the real work needs to be done. When all that stuff is out of your, so Sublocade, Suboxone, whatever that helps you through. I don't care if it's a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month taper. You mean sometimes people have been strung out for super long years and they need it maybe a 6 month taper. I don't know. But I've seen heroes do it in like 1 month and get off it. But staying on a substance that I'm going to physically withdraw if you take it away from me so that I can feel normal, I'm not a big fan. And the last part is about that too, is that people say, look, I'm taking my strips, I'm taking my subs, and I'm not high anymore either. I'm not high anymore either. It doesn't get me high anymore. Yeah, I get it. If you give me a 1/4 gram of some tar every day, and I do that 1/4 every single day for 30 days, at the first one, yeah, I felt great. 30 days later, same amount every day, 30 days later. Now, I'm not going to feel freaking nothing either. I'm just going to feel normal. I'm going to feel normal. But I'm doing it, but I'm going to feel normal. But don't give it to me on the 31st day, and I'm going to punch you in your face. Because I am physically addicted. Same thing. So no, I am a big fan to get through the withdrawal. I'm not a big fan, and I'm a little bit passionate about it, as you can tell, but I'm not a big fan of staying. Give yourself a chance. Don't stay on that shit forever. Come on. You want to open up your heart center, and I don't know how open it can get when you're still physically addicted to something. I don't know. That's just I'm not a doctor. I don't got PhD behind my name, and I really don't want to argue about it. And if somebody chooses to stay on it forever and you're able to grow and thrive and find happiness and meaning in this life, then handle it. If you could feel confident, joyous, and free staying on that stuff, you feel better than you ever have. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I just haven't experienced those kind of people from staying on something. That's all I got on that. We got another question?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on medical marijuana?
Medical marijuana. Again, I'm going to say the same thing again. Smoking weed. If you can grow and thrive and find meaning and happiness and abundance, and if you feel joy in your life by smoking weed, handle it. Handle it. I don't know. Are you sober? Are you not sober? I don't want to argue that. That's between you and your sponsor or you and your recovery group. But if you keep having to freaking smoke weed because you're lonely, angry, tired, fearful, you're fucking needing to smoke it every day for something like that, then I don't think it's healthy. I don't know. I know I had to do that for about 11 months where they came out with the weed card, and I freaking years back where I was able to go to the dispensary with this weed card, and I was able to buy a script of weed, and I'm like, okay, if I just smoke weed, it's going to be okay. Did that for 11 months, and then I started drinking, and then I started shooting, and then I started snorting, and I started smoking, and then it just all went bad. So no, for me, I found out the magic bullet is complete abstinence, doing the inner work to unleash the negative shit in my heart that compels me to smoke weed, drink a beer, do any of this stuff, release that energy. And then once I was able to release that energy, then I'm more happy and joyous and free than I've ever been in my entire freaking life. So that's what I got to say on that. Handle it. If you feel like it's the greatest thing ever and you want to handle it, handle it. I mean, who am I? It's your journey. You got to make your decisions based upon what you're getting out of this life.
Justin is saying he was brought up in a religious family and he can't get past the God thing.
Religion. This is a trippy one. Okay, it's not trippy. It's just great. I understand, but there is a. We come to believe in a higher power. We come to believe in a power greater than ourselves. And yes, there's all these books and there's all these religions and there's all these practices and there's all this stuff and all this knowledge and all these words. Okay, but that's, and then we judge their behaviors and some of them are all screwed up. Okay, but a personal connection is about spirituality. We have this saying like, fuck around and find out. Meditate every day for 60 days. Just meditate. Plug into the energy of source. Just plug in every day. Do it for 5 minutes every single day. You'll come to believe in some power. You'll come to believe in a connection. Pray every day. Ask God. Say, hey, I don't even know who the hell you are. I don't know what your name is, but are you there, God? I don't know, but I'm kind of struggling. I need some help, and maybe I want to build a little relationship with you if you're real. Humble prayers like that work. It just takes practice. It's just like I said earlier about push-ups. I could think push-ups are stupid. I could feel like they're the lamest thing ever. I can not believe in any kind of exercise. But if I exercise every day, I will get the results. If you pray and meditate every day, you will get the results and you will come to believe in something. I promise you. Yeah, the whole God thing, yeah, I'm very non-denominational if you can't tell. Like I don't bang on any religions. I've met people of great faith of all different religions and I can see that God's working in their lives. And you're not going to tell me that it's not because I see lots of love in them and they're from all different kind of denominations. And I've seen a lot of shitty people from all different kind of denominations also. I've seen shitty Buddhists, shitty Mormons, shitty Christians, shitty Muslims. I've seen all people of all different faiths. The good ones are the ones that love. The good ones are the ones that are kind. The good ones are the ones that are helping. Those are the good ones. That's how I measure people, by their heart, not by the things they say. What else? Is that it? Yeah,
okay.
one more real quick one.
Kendra is asking, do you think it's safe to get back into a relationship that has a past of using together when unsober?
Absolutely not. Well, let's flip a coin and find out.